Hi everybody and welcome to the Mental Toughness and Body Show. My name is Rob Evans and I'm your weight loss coach, health strategist and internationally published author, helping take your life, your business, your mindset, your body from where you are right now to being unstoppable. And today's topic is I want to talk to you about self-image, the self-image that you hold of yourself. I know self-image implies that, doesn't it? But that image that you have of yourself. Now that could be coming in a couple of different forms. So what I'm mainly talking about is your physical being. How do you feel about your own skin? And here's the thing, there's that saying, be comfortable in your own skin. But you may not be comfortable with what you're seeing in the mirror. You may not be comfortable in your own skin. And you want to make a change in that. I mean, my whole career over the last 12 years has been built around changing people's body shape, changing their health, changing their mindset so that they can have a better self-image of themselves, but also have a better level of health and a better physical being as well, and being stronger and fitter at the same time. Now, this is what generated the idea for me to write Awaken the Sexy Within. Now, Awaken the Sexy Within, I'm going to cover, I might have a few podcasts coming up where I talk about some of the different chapters within the book because it's really, really important. It's really got 30 years of my life experience as well as working with clients to come up with a guaranteed blueprint for success in changing your mindset as well as giving you the physical body. My feeling was that there is a gap in the fitness market and there's plenty of stuff out there around workouts, around nutrition, that kind of stuff. I wanted to give people all of that, but I really wanted to attack the mindset side of it. And I wanted to come at it from a different angle. So looking at it from within and the outside will transform itself. So if I go back to when I was a child, I had a very poor self-image of myself. Very poor. And when I was about 13 years of age, I found that because of my size, I wasn't overweight, I was tiny, but I was the shortest in the school. I was an easy target for bullies. I loved sport, but I wasn't fast enough. I wasn't tall enough. I wasn't skilled enough to compete with the other kids in my age group because I was also one of the older kids, but because I was so small, everybody would be able to beat me. So I was never picked for school teams. I would never win in running races and that kind of thing because my legs were just shorter. So somebody that was the same age as me was probably a foot taller and therefore had more muscle strength, had longer limbs, and would just always beat me. And that was just the way of it, unfortunately. And that had a big impact on my self-esteem. I wasn't good at school. I wasn't, a popular kid. I didn't have friends. And any girls that I asked out, I said no. So I had a really poor self-image. I didn't like my body. I thought that movie Big, that was me. I wished I was bigger. I wished I was taller. I wished I was more popular as a result of that because I felt isolated and lonely and it wasn't a good place to be. And for many years I was like that. I didn't like my hair. I didn't like my face. I had a big birthmark on my face that I didn't like. And I had a chipped tooth as well. And I just thought, man, who would want to be with me? And I didn't really want to be with me. So I thought, who else is going to be? And this is where the big change came for me. When I got bullied this one particular day, guy threatened to kill me. And I said, do you know what, I'm not going to live like this anymore. I'm not going to be immobilized with fear. I'm not going to feel humiliated. I am going to get the body that I want so that I have the confidence in who I am. As I went on that journey, I discovered that even though I was changing the physical me, it was the inner me that really, really made the difference. But then as I work with clients, I can tell that many people do not like the physical them. And they want to not only change the way that they look, they want to change their health as well, which is really important to me because I don't like to just, get people to change the way that they look. It's got to come from within. They've got to have the right drive behind them, and they've got to want to optimize their health so that they can maintain it forever and not just do it for a period of time. It's got to come from a position of health and not just looks. And I think that I've got some clients that believe that their career is being held back because they're overweight. And I can see how that can be an issue for some. Like if you need to lose 100 kilos, no matter who you are, people will judge you. Now, whether it's the person making the decision, people will naturally judge you. So let's just say that you've got a stressful job, you've got a high energy required for the job, and someone comes in and they need to lose 100 kilos. Immediately, within seconds, you're going to say, well, if they're that big, surely they're not motivated, surely they're not focused, they must be incredibly tired, they're not going to be able to work the hours that I want, they're not going to be able to work at a level that I want. You'll just make up all these things. Now, they might be more capable than the next person that comes in that looks like a supermodel. But these are the preconceptions that come with looking at somebody that maybe needs to lose 100 kilos. Now, where the biggest pain point is for that person, because they may be missing out on opportunities. They don't like who they are. They don't like the shape that they are. And I say, well, okay, let's use that as energy. You don't have to be happy with where you are. In fact, I work with people to make sure that you're continuously improving so that you're not just sitting on your laurels. We want to continue to optimize our health. We want to continue to strive to be strong or stronger and fitter than we were in the previous day. Because when we do that, then you're living life at the cutting edge of the top 1% of health and wellness. And when you're doing that, you've got top 1% energy. You've got top 1% of opportunities to live life the way that you want to on your own terms without having to worry about whether you can keep up, because you've now got boundless energy and you can determine what it is that you're going to do with that. And your starting point to make a change might be, look, I'm just not happy with where I am. The number of people that I talk to, particularly women, but I see it with men, most of my clients are women. So about 80% of my clients are women. And why is that? Probably because women are more focused on changing their body shape than men are. Maybe women just have more struggles with it. Men have got a higher level of testosterone, tend to be a little more active in some cases than women. And, women just find it a little bit more, I suppose, important. Some men just really don't care what they look like. Look, some women are like that too, but as an industry, certainly most of the people that are wanting to improve themselves are women. And I find that most women, I would say, that I sit down with, they set the bar pretty low. They say, oh, well, I'm this age now, or I'm a mum and I've had X number of kids now, so that won't be possible for me. And it's like, who put that story in your head, that it's not possible for you? I've seen some incredible women that have had 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 kids and look amazing. And you would never know that they've had any kids because of the way that they have changed their bodies to get to the level of health that they want. Where it comes from, awaken the sexy within, it comes back to everything that's from within you, coming from that point of why do I want to do this? What is it that I really want to achieve with myself? And when you make that really important, you find a way to get there. And if having a certain look for you is important, then I think it is very worthwhile in pursuing that. What most people will do is they'll do a bit of exercise, but they won't change the image that they have, like that physical image that they have. So there are two things. You could look fine and still have a poor self-image of yourself. What I'm talking about right now, because that's probably a whole other podcast. What I'm talking about here is that maybe you want to just shed a few kilos, maybe you want to shed a lot of kilos, you're not happy with where you are, and as a result of that, you do have a poor self-image, and it's leading to a loss of confidence, and maybe it's resulting in you not being as promoted because you're not going for it because you don't have that level of confidence. All I'm saying is it's okay to feel like that, and it's okay to want to change it because of that, and not just to say, I need to just accept who I am and where I am. I don't believe that. I think wherever you are, you can make a change to it. Because I've done it with clients. I've done it to myself. It just comes from the place of determination because you've determined what it is that you want. And you know how badly you want it. And then it's just a case of adjusting the tools for you to get there. Most people just don't want to go for it and just come up with the reason as to why they are where they are and just justify it that way. I was talking with one of my clients yesterday and I said, what's your goal? And she told me what it was. And I said, so what's and she said it was like 5 kilos. And I said, so what's the big goal? And she said, well, I want to get into the 50s, something with a 5 in front of it, i.e. 59 or less. So that was more like a 10 kilo. And I said, okay. And I said, she's had 3 kids. And I said, look, if you want to get a smoking hot, sexy body, then you should be able to do that. I said, there's no reason why you can't. Her focus is really good. I said, but if you want that, then I'll help you get there. It just requires more consistency and accountability from what you're doing right now. But you can get there perfectly easy with that focus. You can do it. And this is what I absolutely love about what I do, because you can have such a dramatic impact on people's lives. One of my earlier clients, probably going back now, it would be over 10 years ago now, and he came to me, and I remember the first day that he came, knocked on my door, and normally I don't take people just turning up and knocking on the door. You've got to make an appointment. And he knocked on the door, and it just so happened that I didn't have... Actually, I think what actually happened was I had a client that just cancelled, and he turned up, and he came in. He said, is it okay? Can I come talk to you? And I said, yeah, sure, come on in. And he came in. I said, so tell me, what's going on? He said, I need to lose about 19 kilos, 20 kilos, and I just don't feel good about myself, and I lost my self-confidence and all that. And you can tell by the way I'm talking, that's exactly the way he was talking. And then in something like, I think it was 8 weeks or something like that, he lost 20 kilos just by following the program. And he feels great. And if you go to our success stories page, Alex is his name, and you'll see him there. And his before and after photos say it all. His before photo, he looks sad and broken, and in his after photo, he looks alive and awake. Now, I often don't realise the impact that I do have on people's lives until much later, and they tell me. And he said to me, Rob, he said, you just don't understand how much you've completely changed my life. He said, I was broken. He said, I was living out of home. I didn't know what I was going to do. And he said, now I've got a job. And he said, because I've been able to change my body, that gave me the self-confidence to go for the interview and put myself out there. And I just felt, good in who I was. And I thought, wow, that's awesome. I mean, sometimes I'm so focused on getting people to make the changes and keeping them accountable to that sometimes you do forget there's a deeper story in there for somebody in their journey, and everybody's got their own journey, and you've got your journey as well. And it's not to say that staying the same as you are right now and loving that self-image is not right. What I'm saying is, if you are not happy with your self-image, like that, what you see in the mirror, then it's okay not to be okay with it and to want to change it. Because when you do change it, that's when these other events in your life can completely change. One of the things that so many women tell me is they're not necessarily, 100 kilos overweight. Maybe they're like 5 to 10 kilos overweight. And they say to me, I want to be the best version of myself for my partner. I said, where if they're being intimate and their partner, they're wondering what their partner's thinking. Because they're thinking that I feel like I'm fat. And I'm thinking, is my partner thinking that I'm fat? But they will never say anything. Now let me tell you this, as a man, you're probably right, your partner will never tell you that, like as a man, telling a woman, or a man for that matter, they will never tell you that you're overweight. And that's because they love you for who you are. But where I see this completely light people up is where if you are happy with who you are in your skin, then you just take a different version of yourself to the bedroom. If we're talking about, let's cut straight to it, shall we? Like if you're taking a more confident, a sexier version of yourself to the bedroom, then how fantastic does that make you feel? You will just bring a whole other level of energy to whatever then transpires in the bedroom. Trust me, you really will. So then stepping outside the bedroom, obviously this has an impact on your day-to-day life, how confident you feel in meetings. When you're, for instance, like I've been on the world stage, you're standing in front of people, talking to them. You want to feel good about yourself. You want to feel confident in how you look. You want to feel good in how you look. I think that's very, very important. Now, if that's really important to you, then let's do something about changing that physical image that you've got. Now, only you know what you have been doing for all these years. If you've been not eating, or whether you've been following lots of diets, whether you've been exercising on and off and that kind of stuff, what we need to do is get you into this routine where you are doing those things that work for you. Now, I could be working with two different people and their approaches are different. Like a plan for one may be workable, that same plan for someone else may not be workable. So this is why I tailor the solutions for people so that we can get you the results that you want in a way that's going to work for you. Because you need to have confidence in the plan to know that, okay, well, this is workable for me. It's not a 20-hour a week of exercise and ridiculous eating. It's something that's sustainable for you. Because we need sustainable, workable solutions. Food that you will eat and love and stick to consistently. Workouts that you're going to enjoy at the right amount of time and the intensity. And getting in some cardio exercise there as well that's going to be able to be sustainable and not being excessive for you. And it's really not that difficult. You just have to do it consistently and find those parts of your day where it's going to work for you. And then you just repeat. You repeat it and repeat it and repeat it, and you modify as required. And you just have to make sure that the whole experience is a lot of fun for you. You've really got to love it. It's such a big part of what I do for myself that I couldn't live life any other way now. And when it comes to my physical transformation, so a perfect example here, I work in the health and fitness industry. Now, some of the egos in the health and fitness industry are massive. You know, so people are putting their bodies out there, particularly if you're a model, like a really good-looking male model or female model. I mean, man, I don't fit into either of those categories. But and I'm short, so a lot of these really good fitness models are tall, they're lean, they've got long muscles, and they look fantastic. And they're normally, really tanned up, and they just look fantastic. So I'm short. I'm bleached white skin. So some of those things aren't going to be possible for me. But this year I said to myself, I am sick of talking about one day having a six-pack. I'm like, I'm going to be 52 this year. I'm 52 now, but this is at the start of the year. When are you going to say that this is the year? And I said, I know when. Now, this is the year. And so that's why I'm working as hard as I am to do what I do. Now, somebody just came to the door before, an older guy that used to do some deliveries for me and some stationery. And I haven't seen him for probably 5 years. And he looked at me and he said, man, he said, you're looking good. And I said, yeah, well, I feel good. And all that comes from the drive and the desire to achieve what I want to achieve. Now, that's my self-image of myself. Now, did I hate my self-image? Well, like this year? No, I didn't hate my self-image. Could I achieve something more for myself? Yeah, absolutely. I wanted to achieve that sexy six-pack look that would put me in the top 1%. I'm in the fitness industry. I want to show people that it doesn't matter how old you are, you can achieve your best body yet. You can look amazing. You can feel awesome about yourself at any age. And I already look the best that I've ever looked right now, but I'm also the oldest that I've ever looked. And it feels amazing. And I know what I'm working towards. I'm going to look even better than I do right now. And my final photos are going to be amazing. And that, to me, that's exciting. And does that give me a sense of accomplishment and achievement and excitement and confidence? You bet. You bet it does. It makes me feel fantastic about, wow, look at you. You've said for so long that you were going to achieve this. You always put it off, but now you're doing it. And one of the reasons, I'm standing in front right now of one of the big banners I have, it's Awaken the Sexy Within, one of the pull-up banners. And each thing that I do in my life, it kind of creates this momentum to do the next thing. And for probably 10 years or so, said, I'm going to write a book one day. And because now I finished it, got it published, I thought, well, if you can get a book published, you can transform your body. So let's just do it. And so that's what I'm doing. And that makes it really exciting, really exciting. And I'm loving the journey, which is also important. So I love my current self-image. I've loved it for a while now, but now I'm really loving it. And so what I would suggest is this: if you want to take on more of a transformation yourself, really improve your own self-image, then let's do this. Go to the mentaltoughnessandbodyshow.com, scroll to the bottom, you can opt in for a consultation, and we can just connect and have a conversation about what you're doing right now, how we can tweak some things. You don't have to come onto a program with us. I can just give you some quick tips in half an hour as to what it is that you should be doing. I can shoot you a free program so that you can at least get started. And then if you want to do something more detailed with your food and supplementation and all that kind of stuff and a complete workout program, then we can obviously tailor that specifically for you as well. The point is, you've got to decide, you've got to commit, and it's okay to be okay with where you are in your self-image. But I would say this to you: don't just justify mediocrity to yourself if you really, really, really want something else. And 100% of the people that come to me, male or female, I say, so they come to me for weight loss and they tell me that. And I said, okay, so what's your number? How much would you like to lose? And they give me a number and then I ask them a follow-up question. So you do the same thing. I say, what's the dream? I say, oh, well, if I could lose, let's say they said 5. I say, oh, well, gee, if I could lose 10 or 15. I say, which is it? I say, oh, 15. I said, that would be amazing. I said, so why did you tell me 5? Oh, well, I didn't think I'd be able to get to 15. I said, why not? I said, oh, well, because I'm this age, I'm that age, I've had kids, I'm a mum, I'm getting too old. So what do you think I'm going to say to that? I say, well, look, I'm 52 and I'm in the best shape of my life. And I have a 6-pack. So why can't you do it? I got 2 kids. Yeah, I didn't physically have the kids, but it comes down to the mindset that you want. So if you want that, go for it. Conversely, if you are happy with where you are, then that's perfectly fine. One of the challenges for people, isn't it? Again, this is the topic of a whole other podcast. Some people don't want to change because they feel if they change, their partner will feel bad. Let's just say that, well, it's very common. If you have a look at partners in the shopping centre and stuff, if one's overweight, 9 times out of 10, the other one will be overweight too. Now, if one got to their goal weight and looked super sexy and happy with themselves, how do you think the other partner's going to feel? Well, they can either come along with the journey as well, they can be completely happy and wrapped with where they are, or what I often see is the person that's then super sexy and healthy, they start to find they become a little disinterested perhaps in the other partner because they're not keeping up with them, or they're wanting to put in place these new healthy habits for themselves, but the partner is wanting to live a crappier lifestyle. It really is a lifestyle decision, which, to be perfectly frank, I think this is where I will struggle to find a partner that is going to want to live the same lifestyle that I live, because many people could see it as being annoying and boring. I say, this is sexy, this is good, I feel amazing, come along for the journey as well, because it's really worth it. So have a great day wherever you are in the world. I hope you found this really useful. It's so powerful, and don't be afraid to tap in to that self-image and be honest with yourself. It's an exciting journey. Life is really beautiful. Have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow.